Okay, this next one seems to be just dealing with dishonesty of a translation in the New Testament versus the Hebrew Scriptures. Um, so in Hebrews, let me back up. First, starting in Acts 3 versus Deuteronomy 18. Deuteronomy 18, you know, Christians say that it's referring to Jesus, but Judaism says it's Joshua. So, but it's similar to the misuse of text in Hebrews 8 verse 9, where it says the word rejected. The Jews were rejected, but Jeremiah 31 that says that the Jews were a husband to, or I'm sorry, he was a husband to the Jews. So, if you could clarify and touch base on both of those, please.
We spoke about this in the past. Deuteronomy 18 is referring to Joshua. Moses is set to die. The book of Deuteronomy covers less than 2 months of the last 2 months of Moses' life. And he's going to die, and he cannot take the people over the Jordan. God is going to bury Moses, and another prophet like Moses is going to lead the people. How will he be like Moses? Well, first of all, Moses anoints him, Deuteronomy 34, verse 9. Moses raises up Yoshua ben Nun. See the last passages of Numbers 27, particularly from verse 18 et al. See Joshua 4, verse 14. So it's very clear what's happening there. Raising up another prophet like Moses is Joshua, Yoshua ben Nun, where we're told explicitly the people followed Joshua in the way that they followed Moses. It says that explicitly, and it doesn't say that about anybody else. That means there's nowhere where it says, and the people followed Isaiah like they followed Moses, or the people followed Ezekiel like they followed. There's nothing else, no other one. That's it, okay? This is very, very clear. And book of Hebrews, the book of Acts, they're going to want to assign this prophet to Jesus. It doesn't work at all. And the people didn't follow Jesus. We're almost involved in the, like how many toes did, Bugs Bunny have? It doesn't, we're, all right. As far as Jeremiah goes, so it is one letter difference in the words I reject. Vanoichi ba'alti bam, Jeremiah 31, verse 30 or 31, depending on what kind of Bible you have. Vanoichi ba'alti bam. Although I was a husband to them. The context is that I took you by the hand out of Egypt. I was loyal to you. I was a husband to you, right? Hebrews misquotes that in Hebrews chapter 8, verse 9. It says, I rejected them. So it's exactly the opposite. You're actually saying that God failed. It means God didn't keep up his part of the bargain. I don't know why people are so impressed with Jeremiah 31 and Hebrews 8. I don't understand why Christians find this compelling at all. At all. Have no, except for the term New Covenant. I'll make a new covenant, so they think that's a New Testament. That can't be, because the same Jeremiah 31 is telling us this is in the future, when no one hath teach his brother about God, for they shall all know him from the least of them to the greatest of them, declares the Lord. I've done shows, debates, interactive with Christians, and they hang on to this, and I'm going, this is really significant. And now as far as the one letter difference, so yeah, if you change, I mean, you can do this in any language, right? You change one letter and you have a new word, of course. It's interesting how Christians, when debating Muslims, and most Muslims, not all, but most Muslims think that there's a corruption in the text of TaNaCh, chas v'chalila. So Christians invariably are, when debating Muslims, always argue for the integrity of the Hebrew Bible. Okay, Christians believe that. or they putatively believe that. Why do I add that word in? Because when it helps them, they do that when they're arguing with Muslims. But when they have to defend Hebrews, because if it doesn't say I rejected them, that means Hebrews change it. This is not a mistake of how many souls went down to Egypt in Acts chapter 7. That's just a mistake. People make mistakes. People make mistakes. It's just a mistake. It's not theologically significant how many women came to the tomb. Okay? Those are just mistakes, or one wasn't paid, whatever. It's not important. But if Hebrews changed it from Baalti to Gaalti, that's crazy. That means I rejected them. Gaalti sent them away. I mean, that's exactly the opposite. So, and I want to make this point. On the one hand, Christians say, I could prove that Jesus is the Messiah from your Hebrew Bible. Your Hebrew Bible. That is always the claim. And then we go, okay, please, bring it on. And then they bring Jeremiah 31. And I'm going, but this demonstrates how promiscuous the New Testament is, that it would alter the original text in order to make it appear Christological. Jeremiah 31 doesn't prove the truthfulness of the New Testament. It demonstrates how scandalous it is that it would change the text. Now, as it turns out, the word Baal means a husband, or it can mean an owner or someone who has authority over someone else, okay? So, Vanoichi Baalti Bam, I was their husband, I was their master. Any one of those words would be, you can translate it. But as it turns out, that word Baal, the root, appears many times in the Hebrew Bible. Okay, the root, Semitic languages are all about roots. But that exact construction, Baalti, that exact construction only appears twice in all of TaNaCh. And both of them are in Jeremiah. Jeremiah is using that term. The other place it appears is Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 14. And tell me this, why in the Christian Bibles do they translate that right, but the other one wrong? You understand? You see what's happening here? And of course, they're going to corrupt, they're going to shape, massage the Septuagint. They're the refuge of a scoundrel. That's where they have to run to in order to save them, to rescue them. So then they get themselves in all kinds of trouble. So yeah, I mean, of course you could change letters and then you have, but the claim is, and if this is not the claim, then do not watch me, because then I'm strawmanning them. I am suggesting that Christians are claiming that you can demonstrate that Jesus is the promised Messiah from your Old Testament, your Hebrew Bible. I say, okay, please show me, because that would convince me. That's all it would take. And then what we do is we look up these supposed proofs. Hundreds of them, they claim. And they're not only not there, they're completely scandalous. It's just a cover-up. It's the Nixon thing all over again. The whole thing is just a cover-up. It's just scandal upon scandal until the point that Barry Goldwater just walks in and says to the president, we can't stand by you here, and he resigns. It's the cover-up, and that's what's going on in the Christian Bible. These are not there are errors in the Christian Bible, loads of them. It's just huge, but those I don't think are very important. What is important is not just an alteration, but a malevolent alteration that is perverse and promiscuous, that was done by the authors of the Gospels, about the Epistle to the Hebrews, the letters of Paul, et al. So let's go back to the Hebrew Bible, let's settle on the original claim, and then come to the God of Israel.
Hey guys, I decided that on all of the shorter videos that are anywhere from 5 minutes to 15, 30 minutes, I'm going to add an extended blank session at the end so that I can live stream them, because I'm getting a lot of messages from people that they're missing the actual live interaction chat, the chat room. So by doing this, they won't all be the same length of extended plays, but this will be benefiting everybody who really does enjoy the YouTube chat. So you'll see just an image at the end, and then just a lot of silence for another 10 to 15 minutes. So you guys can log off whenever you want to, but this will give you guys plenty of time to finish up your chat messages. Hope you enjoy it, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks.
If you enjoy this channel and the content, and it has changed your life, or perhaps the life of a loved one or a close friend, would you please consider supporting this work? You can click this link and it'll take you directly to my website with the donate button. Or there's a Patreon link and a mailing address for snail mail if you would prefer. If you do donate, please do me a favor and leave me a phone number where I can contact you and thank you properly. I hope you all have a wonderful 2025. Shalom.